Hello, welcome to the 32nd episode of Unveiling Buddhism. In episode 30, we witness the awakening of bodhisattva Siddhartha after he gained the three realizations. His awakening is also known as nirvana, and in earlier times, it was translated as enlightenment. So, what is nirvana? Unfortunately, nirvana is beyond description and cannot be understood by logical conjecture, inference, analogies, agreement through pondering views, probability, or thinking. Attempting to define nirvana is like describing the taste of a fruit to someone who has never tasted it. No matter how eloquently it is being described, it remains beyond comprehension until experienced firsthand. This message emphasizes humility and warns against the belief that nirvana can be grasped through intellectual efforts like study, contemplation, or pondering. It's also impossible for ordinary people to fully describe or understand the qualities of an enlightened being. While these qualities are immeasurable and incalculable, we do know that enlightened beings are free from afflictive emotions like greed, aversion, and ignorance, as well as any negative thoughts or feelings arising from them. While words fall short in describing nirvana, it's valuable to study its definitions, similar to consulting a map for a journey. However, studying alone won't get us there. We must embark on the journey to reach our destination. So, what is nirvana according to Buddhist studies? Nirvana is defined as the complete extinguishment of greed, aversion, and ignorance in the mind. These three negative factors caused the endless cycle of suffering. Since the endless cycle of suffering ceases upon nirvana, nirvana is also known as the ultimate happiness. In the first week after nirvana, the Buddha sat under the Bodhi tree and did nothing. He was simply experiencing the happiness of freedom and peace, free from disturbing thoughts. He was perfectly calm and blissful, completely different from the unenlightened Siddhartha. In short, he experienced ultimate happiness and was happy to remain in that manner, enjoying the moment for 7 days. Buddha had achieved a state whereby greed, aversion, and ignorance were extinguished from the mind. Can you imagine sitting contentedly, happily, and blissfully for 7 days without feeling the need to do or want anything? That kind of happiness is simply beyond our understanding. Such a feat is beyond most of us. We can't even sit still for 15 minutes without feeling restless, bored, or trapped. But after awakening, Buddha transcended such human limitations. He had found the ultimate happiness that is independent of external circumstances or the physical body. In short, the mental habit of wanting something or not wanting something has been extinguished. He was perfectly happy as he was, experiencing ultimate happiness, also known as nirvana. Understanding this event gives us minor insight into nirvana or awakening. An awakened being is naturally happy. He or she doesn't need wealth, power, or adulation from others to be happy. Their happiness is not due to the gratification of the senses, such as seeing beautiful things, tasting delicious food, or hearing pleasant music or compliments. Awakened beings do not experience disappointment since there is no desire or expectation. Once we attain this understanding, we can distinguish between awakening and mere charlatanism. Let us consider our present life and the various Buddhist teachers and masters out there. Some are real Buddhist practitioners, while some are just faking it. And some may be mistaken or confused about nirvana, just like some of the heretic Shramana teachers mentioned in episode 19. These people have not attained nirvana, but they thought they had. Worst of all, there are also scammers and cult leaders who pretend to have attained nirvana. We should know that a fully awakened master or teacher won't request money from us, nor will they require our service to support their ambitions, whether it involves gaining additional followers or establishing charities and schools. They won't expect or desire anything. Needless to say, an awakened being will not request sexual favors or a full body massage from us. Awakened beings are not driven by a hunger for power or fame, nor will they make us do things that are against our will. Naturally, awakened beings will not instruct us to behave immorally or commit evil acts. Anybody who has desires or aversions is simply not awakened or enlightened. Such knowledge is invaluable because it defines how we interact with awakened beings too. In summary, we shouldn't be anxious about pleasing an awakened one through mundane ways. They simply don't need that, nor do they function like that. This will deter imposters from feigning enlightenment because there will be no incentives to do so. Being enlightened means being free from desire or craving. Hence, genuine enlightenment should yield no gains. In the example of Buddha Shakyamuni, he only requires a daily meal and some basic survival requisites. He didn't own large properties, luxurious cars, servants, money, and so on. In addition, what we just learned also defines how we perceive Buddhas. We cannot consider ourselves as followers of the Buddha if we don't even know that Buddhas have no desires, wants, or expectations. Moreover, Buddhas will never become angry or punish people. Therefore, we need to understand that all Buddhas do not require us to worship them as we do with gods in religions. Similarly, the Buddha did not expect us to worship his monks and nuns as divine beings either. This may come as a shock to some people who have approached Buddhism as a religion. If we don't need to please or worship the Buddha or sing praises to him, then how should we practice Buddhism? The answer to that question may be our first step towards awakening or ultimate happiness. Continue to follow us as we embark on this journey towards unveiling Buddhism. See you in the next episode.